All right, let's just jump right into it. Let me ask you this. Do you ever feel like there's a tiny, frantic bird living inside your skull, and it's obsessed with every single shiny thing that flashes across your screen? Yeah? Well, you're in exactly the right place, because today, we're going to learn how to tame that inner magpie.
Oh, you know the feeling. You sit down, fully intending to get that one important thing done, and then bam, emails, pings, news alerts, and a random notification that your friend just posted a picture of their lunch. It is absolute chaos, but here's the most important part. None of this is actually your fault.
So to really get a handle on this, we've got to understand our own biology. It turns out that in this modern digital jungle we all live in, our brains have basically evolved into, well, a magpie.
Yep, that's what I'm calling it, the Magpie Brain. Every single buzz, every banner, every little red dot, it's a shiny object. It's a piece of digital birdseed specifically designed to make you hop from one thing to the next. Tech companies are basically expert animal trainers, and they're using these little rewards to keep us pecking away at our screens, always looking for that next tiny dopamine treat.
You know, what we call multitasking is a total myth. It doesn't exist. What you're really doing is something called context switching, and your brain isn't a graceful acrobat. It's more like the sleepy sloth right here. Every time you switch tasks, your brain has to slowly lumber over to a new mental branch, and that switch, it comes with a seriously heavy cognitive tax.
And this right here shows you the price you pay. 23 minutes. Let that sink in. That's not just the time it takes to reopen a file. That's how long it takes for your brain to reload the entire complex mental model you had built around that task. So that one quick check of your email, it just blew up almost half an hour of real, deep work.
Okay, so if our brains are magpies, then the digital world is a perfectly engineered trap, laid with an endless supply of that irresistible birdseed. Now let's look at the actual numbers, because honestly, they're pretty staggering.
So, what's so special about 47 seconds? Well, according to Dr. Gloria Mark's research, that's the average amount of time we now spend looking at a single screen before switching to something else. Now get this, back in 2004, that number was 2.5 minutes. We've gone from having a focused stare to a frantic flutter in less than 2 decades. And here's the bill for all that frantic fluttering. Research consistently shows that trying to multitask can slash your productivity by up to 40%. Think about that. In a normal 8-hour workday, you're literally losing more than 3 hours just to the mental friction of switching gears. It feels like you're working hard, but you're just spinning your wheels in cognitive mud.
Let's bring this number back, because the contrast here is just wild. Our average attention span on any given task is a measly 47 seconds, but the penalty for switching away from that task is over 23 minutes. We are living in a permanent state of cognitive debt, constantly trying to climb out of a hole we just dug for ourselves moments before. It's exhausting.
So here's the deal. You actually have a choice. You get to decide which animal you want to be in your daily work habitat. Are you going to be the multitasking sloth? Slow, clumsy, making mistakes and dropping things all over the place? Or are you going to be the monotasking cheetah? Sleek, fast, and unbelievably effective because it pours all of its energy into one single hunt at a time. And this, right here, is why so many of our digital tools actually fail us. Your digital to-do list, your fancy calendar app, it lives in the exact same jungle as the digital predators. You open your phone to check your schedule, and just one swipe away is the infinite scroll of social media, the urgent-looking email, the breaking news. You're basically trying to read a map in the middle of a tiger enclosure. It's not going to end well.
So how do we get out of the enclosure? How do we build a safe den for ourselves where we can actually think and get real work done? The answer, my friends, is to build analog guardrails. It's about creating a physical space to take back our cognitive territory.
And our secret weapon is surprisingly old school, good old-fashioned handwriting. The physical act of putting pen to paper is an incredibly powerful tool. It's a sensory experience. It slows us down, it actually calms our nervous system, and it gives us something the digital world never, ever can, a true sense of completion. When you turn a page, it's done. An endless feed is, well, endless.
This chart really just says it all. Your phone or computer, it has a low sensory output. It puts you in a reactive, jumpy state, and its boundaries are basically non-existent. But an analog system, like a simple notebook or a planner, it gives you high sensory feedback. It promotes a calmer, more intentional state of mind, and it creates a real physical boundary. You have to consciously choose to pick it up, and you consciously choose when to put it away. Okay, so if we're going analog, what's the essential survival gear for this digital wilderness? Let's take a look at one tool that was designed specifically for this fight, the Intelligent Change Productivity Planner. Now, this isn't just a fancy notebook. It's a cognitive scaffold. It's built on 3 key principles that line up perfectly with our animal metaphors. First, you choose your hunt for the day. Second, you hunt in focused bursts. And third, you get a bird's-eye view of your territory at the end of the week. So, step 1, the planner makes you identify your single most important task, your MIT, before you do anything else. This is the big game you're hunting for the day. It's usually the one thing you're probably avoiding. By focusing on just this one hunt, you totally bypass the magpie's urge to just collect a bunch of easy, shiny, low-value scraps. Get your MIT done, and the day is a win. Period.
And this is how you hunt it. The planner uses a system of timed, focused work sessions, followed by mandatory breaks. This is the cheetah's rhythm. You see, real predators don't believe in hustle culture. They don't just grind for 8 hours straight. No way. They engage in short, intense bursts of pure focus, and then they rest and recover for the next hunt. It's way more effective and a whole lot more sustainable.
All right, let's bring this all home. Taming your inner magpie and learning to hunt like a cheetah, this isn't just some cute productivity hack. This is about taking back control. It's about becoming the leader of your own pack.
And that brings us to this really crucial idea, personal digital sovereignty. It's a big phrase, but it means something simple. It's the idea of seeing your focus not as something that just happens to you, but as a sovereign territory. It's a finite, incredibly valuable resource that you have to actively defend from invaders, just like a wolf defends its territory.
And this is why it matters so much right now. As AI and automation start taking over all the shallow, easy tasks, the most valuable human skill left is the ability to do deep, creative, complex work. And that requires focus. In this new economy, the person who can truly monotask, who can truly focus, is the one with the ultimate competitive advantage. It is the pack alpha move.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question. When you're thinking about your day tomorrow, don't just make a boring list of chores. Look out at your wilderness. Identify the one big hunt that will actually make a real difference and commit to it. Hey, if you found this little survival guide for the digital wilderness helpful, go ahead and tame that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for more. Thanks so much for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.